Hey guys, it's Gigi, and today I'm going to be doing a video drawing my life. And I really hope you guys enjoy it. It all started one glorious Sunday morning, on Easter, when my mom busted me out of her stomach on April 20th, 1992. Now let's get right down into my DNA, shall we? I have an abundance of international backgrounds, starting with French. This is the flag of Quebec, which is a province in Canada where I was born. And what I just wrote says, Je m'appelle Gigi, which means my name is Gigi. And no, I cannot read or speak in French. I just know a little bit. That is the flag of Lebanon up top because I am part Lebanese, and that is obviously Italian. Ciao, bello. I have two brothers. This is my older brother, Adam, who's 2 years older than me, and this is my younger brother, Corey, who's 2 years younger than me. I'm sitting pretty in the middle, honey, clicking my heels, just being the most flamboyant, as always. I love being in the middle. Everybody asks me, do I hate it? I love it. When I was growing up, animated Disney movies were so popular, and I just wanted to share the first one that I ever saw as a baby. It was actually The Lion King. That's supposed to be the monkey holding Simba up on Pride Rock. But when I got older and I started coming into my own interests and things like that, I started identifying with The Little Mermaid, and I absolutely loved that movie. It was my favorite. I was just so obsessed with her long, gorgeous red hair, the way she looked when she was swimming, her beautiful shape to her. I was just seriously obsessed, and I identified a lot with that movie. Speaking of 90s movies, I was also really into 90s music. Another random memory I have from when I was little is my mom driving in the front seat of the car and me still in the back in my training seat, and Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You came on the radio, and that was one of my favorite songs. It was actually released in 1992 if I'm not mistaken. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. But she said all you would hear out of my mouth from the back seat was I, you. So I just think that's so funny. I laugh every time I think about it. I realized that I was a little bit different than a lot of the other kids at school when we'd be watching Sesame Street or they'd be bringing their Big Bird dolls into school or whatever, and all I would really want to do to that Big Bird doll is shoot it and have it die and never come back because I hated Sesame Street. Someone that I look up to looks like this. Strong, independent, doesn't let a man hold her down, fights crime, and does it all with a smile on her face. This is my girl Sailor Moon, and I loved that show. I wanted to be talking about them all the time. I wanted to own all the dolls. I wanted to be Sailor Moon. She's a gay icon. I remember every single day after kindergarten, I would get off the school bus, I'd be dropped off for the end of the day, and the bus driver would go, "Bye, Gigi," and I'd be like, "Bye, bish." And my grandma would be waiting for me. We would walk back to her house and talk about what I learned at school that day, if I had a good or a bad day. She was really, really great, and she was a really amazing support system when I was younger. We would go back to her house, and she would always make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That is the sandwich I drew. I have no idea how I came up with that. It's like a burger or something. She made me peanut butter and jelly, and I would be waiting by the couch, and she would bring it to me, and I would watch Sailor Moon, and I just really, really loved those days, and I really appreciated my grandma for always being there for me. My father surprised me one day when I was little, and this is probably a surprise I will never forget, probably the best in my life. He came randomly to me with this big box, and he wouldn't tell me what was in it. He was trying to make me guess. I was thinking, I don't even know what I was saying. I was saying Furby or something because that's what I wanted at the time. But what do I find in the bottom of that box, you ask? I found Spice Girls World Tour tickets, and I was so excited. I started screaming and crying. My dad tells me that he's shocked that the windows didn't break that day because I was screaming so loud. It was just like the best day ever, and I was like really, really happy. I went through a really confusing stage in my life, I would call it. My older brother was playing football and being really manly and out there and just playing all these sports and had all these guy friends. And my younger brother was also playing karate and being really manly also. And I felt like I didn't fit in anywhere. All of them were having so much fun. And then I was just kind of left in the corner, and I had to keep all of this in because I didn't want to make it seem like I felt left out because, I was thinking about things like heels and lipstick, and I just didn't have anywhere to fit in at the time. And I was really, really insecure about a lot of things. And that's when I found the sport of diving. I was always really interested in gymnastics and things, but I never really thought that I could be a diver. It was just so scary. I remember the first time I ever walked into the diving pool, I saw someone jump off the tallest platform, which was 10 meters tall, and he ripped the dive, no splash whatsoever, and I just kept thinking, will I ever be as good as him? Because I want to be, I want to train, I want to be the best. So I took on the challenge full force of becoming a professional diver. And you know, with a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of smacks on the water, a lot of bruises, a lot of crying, a lot of endurance, I racked up a lot of medals in the sport. Actually, I went from competition to competition, and I was actually a force to be reckoned with. But when nationals came around that year, which is when you compete against everyone else in the country, I just thought to myself, am I going to be good enough? Flash forward 3 years later, I am standing on the 10-meter platform, staring into all of the audience, and it is nationals. I'm competing against everyone from my country, and you can always tell where the judges are sitting in the audience because they're wearing all blue, and it's just so intimidating. My very last dive of my 8-dive routine list was an inward 3.5, which means you're standing backwards on the tower, but you flip forward. So you're going towards the tower, but you miss it by like an inch, and then you do 3.5 flips, and you hopefully land on your head. So I go and I do the dive and I rip it, thank God, and I get all 10s except for one 9.5, and I ended up taking home first place for nationals, which was so exciting and such an amazing point in my life. I was number 1 in my country, and the other second and third people don't really matter. It's all about me. Woo! I actually shed a tear that day, right there, standing there on the podium. It was just really loud, everybody's applause. You know, obviously because I did win nationals, it's a huge accomplishment, but also because I felt like I fought a lot of my demons. You know, I was in a very vulnerable place before, and I came out on top, I felt, and made something really positive out of something that was really negative, which is, I think, what you always want to strive for. And I made the front page of the newspaper the very next day. I thought I was just gonna get an article or something, but for them to put me on the front is just so amazing, just another accomplishment. And you know, I love my country for supporting me. But still, every single night, my thoughts just had such a strong hold on me. Why was I thinking these things? Why did I want to dress up? Why did I like makeup? It's just something that I had to explore. I fell out of love with diving. You know, I walked away from it on top, and I had so much fun, and all the people I met I appreciate so much. They put me in an amazing spot, but I just had to ask myself, what's next for me? One thing that was sure to stay the same, school. I felt like I was not participating, I was not finding that many things interesting about it, and the only thing I really did in school was socialize. You know, I got work done, but I always got told, you talk too much, which I don't think is an issue. One night I was just messing around on my computer and I found this website called YouTube, and I was just exposed to so much amazing stuff that I was not exposed to before, and all these random personalities and crazy skits, and I just really knew at that time that I wanted to perform. I wanted to be in front of the camera. So I started making YouTube videos, and that's me. Hey guys, it's Gigi. My numbers slowly started to grow, and more of you guys just really became my friends, and I really appreciate you guys so much for that. I actually took my YouTube to my high school. At the end of every day, I would hold castings because I was doing this online kind of reality show called The Campus, if some of you guys remember back then. And it helped me find my passion. You know, I love directing, I love performing, and we actually made these 2 people from my school who were in both relationships, and we made them kiss for the show, which was a really funny point, I think. It just goes to show you, you can literally turn your frown upside down. Life is what you make of it. Situations are how you perceive them. You know, I don't care where you came from. It doesn't matter if you come from a good family, a bad family. If you want to do something, you have to go out and change it. I've made myself so happy over the years just listening to myself and what my brain is telling me and what my heart desires. And that was supposed to be my transformation, but you guys get the picture. I just want to take this time in this video right now to say I love you. I don't say this enough, and I don't care, no matter what the circumstances you guys have, you need to love you. Because that is the most important thing at the end of the day, because outside this little cloud of you, this little comfortable bubble you have, is so many amazing experiences and so many amazing talents that you don't know about yourself yet. So I want you guys to take chances and do what your heart really desires, because I know you guys are all amazing. This has been my Draw My Life video. Now draw yours. Leave it as a video response and stay gorgeous. Mwah.